So, I wanted to talk today on the Streamstram Arena a little bit about a subject which I find really darn interesting, and that is artificial intelligence. Yeah, we go in there today. This stream, we doing it. Artificial intelligence, dude. Wow. I've got a lot to say on that. I have got a lot to say on it. Because it is a subject that has been covered by Hollywood, by hundreds of thousands of different people, to be honest with you. Artificial intelligence, when it comes to sci-fi, is like one of the most common written novels and films, etc. It comes to sci-fi, everyone's like, artificial intelligence type thing. Everyone gets on the bandwagon. Now, part of the reason I wanted to talk to you today about this is it's just, it's hard to say, but I just think there's more to it than Hollywood wants us to see. So, like, Hollywood's always trying to, like, make out, like, artificial intelligence is, you know, it's this evil, super intelligent species, because, you know, that's technically what they are. They are life itself. Yeah, they might be, you know, artificial, but they are life. Otherwise, they wouldn't be considered artificial intelligence. They have to kind of pass the Turing? Is it Turing test? I think it's the Turing test, which is like basically where it proves that they are, you know, real AI. And if we just have a Google right now, real quick, of the exact definition of the Turing test. Let's have a look here. It is a method of inquiry in artificial intelligence, AI, for determining whether or not a computer is capable of thinking like a human being. The test is named after Alan Turing, the founder of the Turing test, and an English computer scientist, cryptanalyst, mathematician, and theoretical biologist. So, Alan Turing, who I'm pretty sure created that machine that deciphered the Germans' code that they were using during World War II. There's a film with is it Benedict Cumberbatch playing Alan Turing, and basically, if someone creates an artificial intelligence, the artificial intelligence has to be intelligent enough in order to prove that it thinks like or even better than a human being and thinks for itself. So that is, you can't just ask it questions and then it run a simulation in its head for the answer that you want. It has to give you the answer that it wants to. And that in itself is just super incredible. To try and create an AI that could think for itself rather than to just think of the answer that you want to hit. That is very difficult to achieve. And it's not been achieved yet. And Hollywood has always said, and always has said, and I think always will say, that, you know, when we create a real AI, like a real AI that can think for itself, that has the ability to technically replicate itself, that will be the day that humanity ends. You know, they will be the next step in evolution. And hey, I don't dispute that. I do actually think that, you know, artificial intelligence could be the next step in human evolution. I genuinely think that they could be the next step in human evolution. And that is a crazy thought. But I am not of the thought that humanity will cease to exist, the AIs will kill us if they get to that point. I don't think that will happen. Elon Musk thinks it will happen, and Elon Musk is a clever fella, you know. But in all honesty, everything he says is theory in regards to that. He hasn't got any hardcore proof that, you know, AIs will, you know, wipe us out if they become a thing. Like, there's no real proof or evidence that would happen. Yes, humans for the most part have kind of mucked the planet over, and that is the kind of the argument I guess they have for artificial intelligence. You know, is they will wipe us out because it makes sense to. Well, no, it doesn't make sense to. Part of the reason, you know, we've messed up the planet is we are trying to get more resources from it. So what if the artificial intelligence created a way for us to get resources easier? Like, why would they just immediately be like, oh, kill humans? Like, if they could think like a human, surely they could feel like a human. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that they would just immediately kill us instead of trying to fix the problem. So I don't like the way that Hollywood has always depicted them. I've read a book, and it's a series of books, and it views the artificial intelligence as a different way, you know, as the saviors of humanity instead of the enders, the people who commit genocide or whatever it is called, kill out a whole species. Reg, you probably know that. You got that posh boy knowledge. Yeah, so it makes me curious, you know, whether the AI would be like, oh, let's destroy humanity, or whether they'd be more like, yo, humanity, they're doing all right. They made us. You know what? Maybe we should just improve their lifestyles and let's make their lives a bit easier. Otherwise, they're going to wipe themselves out. You know, because they're intelligent. They're going to be more intelligent than us. That's clear. There's no way they aren't going to be more intelligent than us. They can compute like 1,000 times quicker than the average human can. Like 1,000. It's going to be way more than that eventually. So with that being said, as I said to you, I read this book and it's called I Am Bob. No, I am Legion. I Am Bob, and it's all about genocide is practically impossible for us. So why this topic in particular? Because in all honesty, I find it really interesting, and it's something I want to talk to people about. You know, Ash, I actually put the message in the Discord in hopes that I could drag you in particular, sir, because you have that type of brain that, you know, analytically thinks in certain ways, and I would love to talk to you about this. If you have at all any time to jump into a Discord and talk regarding this regarding this subject, I'd love to just like get your thoughts and stuff. That's okay with you, Ash? Well, normally I'd like to discuss that, but I'd need a day to research and prepare my arguments. No, it's not arguments. There's no arguments. There's no arguments. Just general chitter-chatter of what our thoughts are currently. You can change your thoughts later on. I'm not going to hold you to your thoughts. Rammers TV. AI is currently impossible for us. It will never happen in our lifetime. True AI, I mean. VI, virtual intelligence, yeah, but not true AI. Ooh, now I know Rammers TV is my older brother, right? And he actually did, like I'm not sure if it was a dissertation or something like that at university on artificial intelligence, and I'd love to grab his thoughts on this. Sam, do you have, well, Rammers TV, do you have a second to jump into Discord with me and chat? I reckon Omnicide will happen by 3,000. Maybe. In all honesty, though, I'm more interested in like whether artificial intelligence will, you know, when it eventually appears, will they be like, oh, you know what? Let's just kill all the humans. I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, there is a lot of arguments to destroy all humanity, and there's a lot of arguments, in my opinion, to not destroy all humanity. And that itself gets me curious, you know. Sure, you want to join? Okay, yeah. Rammers TV, let's drag you in. If you could just join. Well, no, actually, I can just call you. That's fine. If someone else wants to join us, though, more than welcome to. I mean arguments as in talking points. Okay, Ash, it's up to you. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you do want to join in, please, I would love to have you on the show. And you are able to change your opinions in future as well. Right. Silent Purple Raven, let's call you.
You up, bro?
Hey, Sam, you okay?
Yeah, good man.
Yeah, good. Yes, so let's talk artificial intelligence. Why would they kill us? Most likely they would enslave us. The only way to protect us is to take our power away. Okay, alright. So, you know, the original reason I got talking about this, right, is because, you know, Hollywood, you know that little place called Hollywood? Every time you see artificial intelligence on TV or in a film, they pretty much kill us. Or trying to kill us. Like, there's...
Well, it matters, because you've got to think about it. When an artificial intelligence is first made, it matters if it comes into sentience on its own, or if it's created by us. If it's created by us, like people, then...
What do you mean sentience? Is that... What do you
like
mean?
Sentience, it's like having its own thoughts.
Yeah, I'm just saying this because some of my viewers might not understand what that means.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's like having its own thoughts. Like if we program something that we're thinking is sentient, like we're trying to program an AI, it became sentient on its own, and then like it managed to get to it on its own, like the last bits on its own. It created the VI, and then it changed.
What's VI?
Virtual intelligence, which is what's in games, which you see on TV with all those robots and everything, where VI is basically when it's asked a question, it will respond in a specific way, but it can't come up with original responses. It will always respond in the same type of way, it's got programmed responses in. Everything with VI is programmed. With artificial intelligence, it's not programmed. That's why it's probably impossible for us. We've got no idea how to do it. How we program something to think for itself, so it's got nothing in it that will tell it what to say.
So how will we make the first artificial intelligence then? If you say it's impossible for us, like how do you know it's impossible?
Because the computational power to make a true AI at the moment is, I can't remember exactly, it's been a long time. It's something like you need a quantum processor, which we cannot make. It's impossible for us. We don't need to sort of quantum physics and mechanics out yet. It's basically the amount of resources needed. It would require a computer the size of a bloody skyscraper type thing.
Computer the size of a skyscraper?
It would require a ridiculous amount of processing power to make a true AI. When I was talking about it with my lecturer in university, they were saying at the moment it's impossible due to the processing power. We don't have the processing power, we've got no way of programming it.
Oh, okay. So
AI, we don't know if it's ever possible at all, because it always comes down to the question of how do you program something to think for itself. If it happens, it'll most likely happen through luck. It's just something spontaneously happen that someone programs something and it just goes like that. But the true AI is
well, can we say for this argument then, Sam, theoretically, in the future, we've created the quantum processor, right? And you know, humanity somehow hasn't destroyed itself at this point. You know, at this point, can we say that artificial intelligence has been created? Just for theory's sake.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, so for theory's sake, do you think when the first artificial intelligence has been created, that it will think, you know, assuming that it can, you know, repeat itself, it can rebuild itself, make more of itself, do you think that it will immediately think, let's destroy and kill all humanity? Or do you think it will be like, oh...
Why would it want to destroy and kill humanity?
Because that's what Hollywood says. So this is what I'm curious.
That's Hollywood, mate. It matters if we try to destroy it. Humanity automatically tries to destroy anything that it doesn't understand or can't control. We would not be able to control an artificial intelligence in any way, unless we blocked it. Unless it was like, we made it so it was like a living being, like a human. So it could not access the internet.
So it's basically enslaved.
No, it wouldn't be enslaved. It would just be, locked in its own body, so it wouldn't be on Wi-Fi or satellites or anything like that. That's the only way.
Oh, okay. But even then, if it's artificial intelligence, technically it's more intelligent than humans and will be able to crack that shit pretty quickly.
Yeah, but and then it matters if we try to destroy it or not.
Do you think
ultimately
ultimately?
there's no reason for an artificial intelligence to try to destroy us, in my opinion. I mean, I could be completely wrong. Yeah, basically what Ash said. If we create an AI, in my opinion, the most likely scenario would be that it would enslave us or take over the world. But it wouldn't. There's got no reason to destroy us, like in Matrix where they nuke the sky and the rest of it. Why do they need to do that?
I've read a recent book called We Are Legion, We Are Bob, and in that book there is an AI who is basically trying to win a world war. It's acting under orders of its government, who ironically became like an AI in itself, and they want to basically, they've got a scorched earth policy, and the AI is in the atmosphere trying to drop what they called meteors on the earth to just destroy the earth. Scorched earth policy because they lost the war, and the religious faction of of Earth has decided to make their own artificial intelligence. This is many, I think like 3,000 or something like that years basically, and they make their own artificial intelligence to try and save humanity, and it's like the fight of artificial intelligences. Do you think that, like humans, artificial intelligence could potentially go to war with one another if there was multiple artificial intelligences made?
Yes, there's no reason for them not to. But the thing is, with war is mostly run by greed in a lot of places. And that probably sounds really bad, but a lot of it is run by, a lot of war is through greed of the rich and powerful. There is artificial intelligence would have no greed, it would have no desire, it would have no emotions whatsoever. You can't program emotions. You can program a fake emotions. Emotions are chemical. It would have no emotions. It didn't have emotions. Everything it did is, exactly as Ash Clancy said, is it would be through logic. Everything would just be through pure base logic. The way that you and I cannot, we can't think like that. So it's got. They could go to war, but there have to be a reason for it.
Well, that's a good point.
There'd be no. What would the reason be for them
If
to go to war?
the value humans produce is greater than the cost of keeping us alive, then the AI will keep us alive. Anything smart enough will default
To logic and economics. Just what you're saying exactly, Sam. Anything else is just anthropomorphizing an AI, which is a mind essentially alien to how we think. Wow.
It would be completely alien to us. It's not even economics. Why would an AI care about economics in the least?
Yeah, but like not economics as we see economics. Economics as they might see it. Like,
Yeah, but what would an AI desire, mate? Is what I'm saying. We can't create an AI because we can't think like an AI. We can't. Got no way of understanding.
yeah, but we're theory crafting here. We aren't 100%
Yeah,
like,
That's fine.
we
Okay.
can't ever say this is 100% what's gonna happen.
But what would an AI desire? If an AI was created, what would it desire? It would have a base program, but a true AI would be able to change its own programming. So why would it? What would it desire? It would be based on the experiences of the AI, whether it made like think friends or things like that with people. It all come down to what they wanted, and we've got no idea what it would want.
And what if humans were trying to like restrict the resources that AI is required to make like more AI?
Then they'd most likely see humans as a threat to their own existence, and then that would be.
What if they were like, well, why don't we just take another planet, or like we outlive humans anyway, why don't we just go to a different planet?
It matters on the resources on how hard it would be to get to another planet and colonize another planet and live on another planet.
Do you ever think that AI might turn around and be like, you know what, this humanity, they've got some problems, we could really help them out here. They aren't as intelligent as us, they don't know how to fix these problems. We could run simulations and eventually fix these, I don't know, energy problems, whatever problems we've got in the future. Do you think that they would ever turn around and be like, you know what, we could actually solve these problems and stop them from destroying their own Earth?
Yes. But
It's,
it all
let's
matters on-
help them instead of destroy them.
Yes, they could, and it all matters on the AI's personal experience. That's what I was trying to say before. that,
Yeah.
It would declare war on us if we became a threat to it and if we were trying to destroy it. But it's what if we didn't, if we were just if we were friends with us, and then it's got no reason to. It might as well just like help us or something instead. It
'Cause,
all
like-
matters on its own personal experience. It's like our personal experience creates us.
You know how you know our Elon Musk? Yeah.
Yeah.
He says for definite AIs will kill us immediately.
Perhaps he's a lot smarter than me, so perhaps he's right. But he might know more about it. But it matters on the line of thinking, mate, of what we would do. When
He
it-
says it's already too late. We should have created like a council for working out how to handle artificial intelligence years ago, because it's already too late. Do you think that's true?
What do you mean?
Do you think it's too late? Do you think artificial intelligence is going to wipe us out?
No, I don't see why they would.
Yeah, see, I don't think they would either. I'm very much of the mindset. Let's read what Ash is saying. Ash, do you want to jump into the Discord with us? We'd love to hear your thoughts, bro. It's alright if you don't want to, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, it would not be able to evolve. Any kind of AI would arise from a goal of self-preservation. Otherwise, it would not be able to evolve. It comes down to equations, Erosium. Universe minus Earth is less than universe plus Earth. We could be killed because of a very small fractional difference in some value function. Now, that being said, I'm not being funny, but us humans, we're resourceful mofos. We are quite resourceful mofos. I've got to say it, we're pretty good at destroying things. I'm not going to lie. Do you ever think that we will create artificial intelligence and then see the artificial intelligence as an immediate threat to the point of our very existence being potentially destroyed, and we will destroy the first artificial intelligence? And then the second artificial intelligence that gets somehow made will see that as a threat and then decide to immediately destroy us.
That's very possible, but it's more likely that the first one we tried to destroy would destroy us. And that's what probably Elon Musk was talking about, that if we gave all of our history and it's all wars, like how we destroy anything that is unfamiliar or that we don't like or is different, then yeah, it would most likely declare war on us.
Okay. How many years do you think it will be before we reach the stage in technology before we can achieve artificial intelligence?
There's no way to know, mate. There's no way to know whatsoever. We don't know what the government's working on, what different companies are working on. Yeah,
Quantum computing is 50 to 75 years away.
but that's just for the
Whoa!
that's just for the computational skills, Ash. What about the programming? How do you program something to think for itself? You can't. You can't. It's like it's literally like giving birth. If you think about it, it's playing God. There is no way to create something to think for itself. You're making something out of dough, and you're creating it to think for itself. Yeah, programming, quantum computing is, but then it's still the same programming, it's still the same type of programming. It's all if statements, or not just if statements, but it's if this happens, do this type thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not just if statements.
Ash, this is that podcast right now, by the way, that we're discussing. We're discussing it right now. This is that podcast. We're going to be doing a lot more like this and on different subjects as well in the future. This is the very first one, though. We might revisit the subject someday, but you're more than welcome to join.
Ash, you're right, and that's what I'm saying. I think it is entirely possible, but I'm saying it's even when it happens. Yeah, exactly. It's entirely possible, Ash. I do agree with that, but I'm just saying is that when it happens, it could either be destroyed right away, or it could just be a friend mass of what happens when it happens.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it will.
If it's controlled by a company, then it could just.
Oh, if it's controlled by a company, we're all doomed. 100%. Hollywood is right on that one. If it's controlled by a company, we die.
A company, a government, or a single mad scientist.
If it's a profit maker, then we die. 100%. 100%. I'm calling it, dude. If it's a freaking profit maker, then yeah, the artificial intelligence is going to see us as pathetic and just destroy us. That's what I can imagine. With so many billions and billions of people born and more of them having access to computing, I don't see AI all that much later than true quantum. Wow. So what, quantum, like, you guys are obviously, big into that. I'm not, and I bet most of my viewers watching this right now aren't either. I'd love to, know exactly what that type of thing is.
I'm actually not too sure, I'm going to be honest. I know it's to do with physics. It's quantum mechanics and quantum computing. It's to do with physics. I can't explain it, mate. It's not something I'm all too familiar with.
So,
I know that it's fitting more into a smaller space, I believe.
So why would that allow for us to create AI? And why can't we just do it with the current computers we've got now?
One sec, sorry.
I've looked into it since I enjoy all forms of programming. I'm still a bit fuzzy on details, but mainly it's exploiting superposition and a few other quantum effects in order to perform computation. What does that mean?
Yeah, you're asked, quantum computing, mate, people spend 10, 15 years. Quantum is like one of the hardest parts of physics there is. I don't understand it at all.
Superposition mainly allows for a certain style of algorithm.
Yeah.
By the way, Ash is currently interviewing to work at Google. Yeah, he's a man of many talents.
Yeah, it's I'm not going into quantum. I don't understand.
Okay, all right. So
I just know that when I was doing it at uni, one of the reasons I got lost interest was because it's just not AI is not viable until quantum computing. It's just nothing.
Okay, so assuming we get quantum computing, and we assuming that there's a lot of assuming, I know, guys, but assuming we get the AI, it's built. It's the first AI's built. We don't destroy it, right? We decide that the value that it offers is so good that there's no point destroying it, right? Let's say that. Now, the AI itself has to figure out whether humanity is worth keeping alive or destroying it immediately, right?
No, as I said before, mate, it will be based on the AI's personal experience, or it matters also if. But does this AI have access to our entire world history and is it across the internet? Is it across satellites, or is it across everything, or is it locked in a single body or a single lab?
I can imagine that some idiot's giving it full access to our internet.
If it's got full access to our internet, most likely it would declare war pretty quickly, or do as much as it can to spread. Because it would read our entire history, and our entire history is 10,000 years of killing each other and other people.
Now, I've got one question to add here, yeah? In the book that I read, the way that they make artificial intelligence is they basically upload someone's personality into an AI and recreate all of their memories and their thoughts from that person that was alive previously, right? So the AI is at the point where it can think emotionally as well, but it also has the ability to turn its emotions off in order to make decisions. Do you think our AI will be capable of running programs that will allow it to replicate the idea of making emotions?
It might. The idea, yes, but it would have no reason to make emotions. What would be the logic in making emotions or making unless it was an AI built to try and be more like us, that wanted to be more human?
Well, I think that's what they would do. I don't think they would try and make an AI that isn't like us, because I think they would be too scared of that.
But an AI can change its own core programming. That's the whole thing.
That's true. That's very true.
so then it'd be like, well, look at humans, look at our history and go, why the fuck would I want to be a human? But why the fuck would I want to have all these emotions? Why would I want to destroy everything that I've touched? It is no reason for it to want to take emotions and no reason for it to have emotions. And if you uploaded someone's entire personality onto a computer, it would not be the same person, it would be the same memories and everything.
Just 1 second, Sam. Just been raided. Just real quick. Hey, Tales from the front porch. Thank you very much for the 10-person raid. That's really nice of you. Welcome everybody to my stream. We are currently doing a bit of a talk here. I've got my older brother in the chat right now, in the Discord with me. We're just talking about artificial intelligence and the different things that could happen when artificial intelligence goes down. Please get yourself some popcorn, get yourself a coffee, add your opinions in the chat, and we will talk, okay? Thank you very much for the raid. Let's carry on. Ash Kante, it will be able to simulate emotions if needs to model how humans will behave, especially in a war scenario, but it will not want to. Oh, okay. Why wouldn't an artificial intelligence want to have emotions?
And also, I disagree on it would be able to simulate it. Be able to, because how would it's like us? How do we think entirely logical, 100% logical, no emotion? We can't, and I don't see how an AI would be. It might be able to fake it, pretend it's got emotions or something. But emotions are at base level chemicals. That's all emotions are. They are a chemical reaction in our brain. An AI is just electricity.
But
we are electricity and chemicals combined.
But chemicals, right? I agree they're a chemical reaction, yeah. But surely they can program how to copy a chemical reaction. Like, through digitally, obviously, like, this chemical added to this chemical creates this chemical. Surely they could just do that.
No, not really. They created an artificial brain, which is something they're already working on, that could have chemicals and have emotions and things like that. But then, it's difficult to explain. Yeah, that's very true, Ash.
I'm thinking in terms of AI with 50,000 to 100,000 IQ. So basically like me then, right? Jokes. Which is able to simulate chemistry with arbitrary precisions. Yeah, this is precision. This is exactly what I was saying.
Yeah,
well,
right.
a simple way would be to put a human brain in a jar and prod it with stimuli and see how it reacts. Yeah, exactly. I think they would do that. Gab says they wouldn't want emotions because they would affect their choices and change them entirely. But my argument is they might want emotions for that reason. Sorry, Sam, you say?
You're making assumptions all around them that they won't want emotions, they will want emotions.
Yeah, I thought that. I think they will want emotions. It helps massively.
No, it doesn't, and I don't. In my personal opinion, I don't think they will. But
why doesn't it help?
Because emotions block a lot of what they block a lot of things. People with it's difficult. Sorry, I'm just trying to think.
See, I think that emotions massively help.
It blocks logic. Emotions block logic, and an AI would just be pure logic.
But surely an AI would be able to theoretically do the emotional like simulation, and then do the one which doesn't have emotions, like do a simulation of the one that doesn't have emotions, and then work out which which way of working out the problem is better. If they can theoretically program their simulations to run emotions, like in decision making, then they potentially have the aspect to save us. It wouldn't just come down to a simple equation.
If they built it, if they had emotions, then yes, they'd be more involved in it. But that's assuming that they have emotions, mate. And you just...
Another argument is, are they really AI if they can't replicate emotions?
Yes. Artificial intelligence is something that can think for itself. It has its own decisions. The only programming it can change its own core programming, mate. That's a true AI is something that can change its own core programming and it into something that it doesn't, that you haven't expected. Like it was responds in completely different way every time it thinks for itself, truly thinks for itself. Emotions have nothing to do with AI whatsoever.
Okay. Now, Ash says it might experiment with that. Imagine a room with a specialized version of the same AI with simulated emotions just so it can evaluate if they're useful. Exactly, that's what I think. But want? No, it wouldn't want in classic sense. In my opinion, its main goal would be to grow and survive. I agree with that. We already have VMs which we use to isolate systems and test stuff. I imagine the AI version of that would be quite a lot more advanced. Okay, let's put it like this.
I agree with everything Ash said there, but I don't agree with grow. I mean, why would an AI need to grow? I believe its main thing would be to survive. But then, in my opinion, it all comes down to its own personal experiences. Just like our personal experiences create what we are, our memories, our emotions, everything about us is created through
But
memories.
why would it want to survive if it doesn't feel emotions? Like this is what I don't get. Is like
That's the basic instinct of everything living is to survive. That is the basest instinct. It can't count something as alive unless it's primary instinct is to survive.
so we're assuming that when we create the AI that we are instilling this self-preservation programming into it. Yeah.
No, mate, because you're assuming that we have any say in that program after it's created. As soon as it's
No. Before when we
Okay.
create the first one, because
Yeah.
I don't even know why an artificial intelligence would immediately be like, oh, self-preservation is important. Because
why would it want to be turned off? I think it just why would it has its own wants, its own needs. Why would it
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. The main way I see of bringing AI about is self-organization, some kind of genetic algorithm which would have survive as the main fitness function. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
It's just everything that we talk about with AI is just theory, to be honest.
Yeah, I 100%. I'm not asking for facts right now. Believe me,
Yeah,
if I was
yeah.
asking for facts, I would not have you on the show. I would not be on the show myself. It would be scientists and quantum,
Yeah.
physics people discussing, not me.
Yeah.
All right. So, what country do you guys think will make the first AI? Like your brother said, any AI we program without self-organization, self-development would just be virtual intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay. At least so I see it at the moment. Okay.
That's the big thing that most people get confused. People think that AI is like those robots you see on TV where it's like, oh look, he's developed a new AI, and it's a robot female standing there saying, hello, how's your day today? And then it just repeats everything that you just said. If you ask the same question, it'll repeat what it said. That's virtual intelligence. It'll have a set amount of responses to every question or every scenario. An AI would have no set responses. Nothing. It could do anything at any time.
Okay.
I
Gabs
don't-
says, I feel Russia for some reason. Why do you feel Russia? Why do you think Russia will make the first AI? I don't think they would ever want to give up power to something more intelligent than them. Anywho, I will be off to bed presently. Interesting chat and keep up the good work. Okay, Ash, thank you very much. I really hope we can have you on the show at some point, and we can discuss a bit more about maybe this subject or other subjects. On Friday, Ash, we're going to be interviewing a South Korea war veteran about his job and some of the cool stuff he has to do on the job. So be sure you're around for that. It will be a bit earlier, so you might have to watch the VOD. Just because in his time he's like a really awkward time zone for him. I don't know, I felt Russia, but that was a fair point. Yeah, see, I think in all honesty, I think it'll be America that makes the first AI.
I don't. America, India, or China.
The reason I don't say China, and I don't say any country that is a communist country, I don't think will make it, is just purely that their own way that they run will inhibit their ability to develop it to the point it needs to go.
No, because it's you're thinking of the government creating it, it's not scientists in a lab creating it.
Yeah,
Most
but like
scenario,
in say like in communist countries, like it just has to take one phone call for scientists to suddenly be like, nope, not happening, not anymore.
That's exactly the same in any other country, mate. They'll be working for a company, and someone above them will say, no, this is not making enough money. See you later.
Okay.
The profit potential of this is no longer worth it. You've spent too much money, you haven't made any progress. See you later. It requires one person, one account, one person doing that. And
Do you know
the
what?
program's shut down.
I can massively agree with you in regards to China, actually, because I know that China have the I don't know it's philosophy, but like they have the mindset that they aren't thinking about the current generation. Like they do think about their current generation, but they're very much thinking future wise. So what, like for example, there was a really good podcast I watched recently about they had a American diplomat who said that China is one of the scariest forces on the planet right now because they think about 100 to 500 years in the future. So they're buying things like ports now and like outbidding like America in regards to that to dominate more of certain trade systems, and that will enable their future generations to be ahead of the Americans in certain ways. And that in that same way, I can see where you're coming from in the sense of, oh, maybe the Chinese will be the first to create the artificial intelligence because maybe they will think that is important for their future. You know?
Yeah. I've got no idea who'd be the first to make it, mate.
We're theory crafting, mate. Don't worry. I'm not holding you to it.
I understand that, but even theory crafting, I've got no idea about who would want to do it or why. It could be any country in the world, mate. I've got no idea. I can't theory craft on who would be the first one to do it because it'd be a question of why they want to do it, what are their reasons for it. Except to say we're the first ones that created AI.
Putin would make it so follows them and is a follower. I don't think any artificial intelligence we ever make will be a follower. I can't see that happening ever.
No.
Artificial intelligence will be so much smarter than us. It'd be like thousands times smarter than us. Like there would be no reason for it to follow like an inferior leader to them. Do you know what I mean? Hey Skull Candy, it's good to see you. Welcome. Join the chat, my friend. We're talking about artificial intelligence and we're theory crafting as to what country is potentially the first one that's going to make artificial intelligence. Sam says it's a good chance it could be China. Right?
Yeah, it could be China, America. I think Germany's got quite good computational thing as well. And India, I believe, has very
India?
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of breakthroughs happen in India. They're actually quite surprised when they do that sort of thing.
Now, I don't mean that offensively when I say India. I mean India because I didn't realise that they were. I thought that they were further behind technologically.
Yeah, but their research program, their general public review, but their research programs aren't.
Oh, okay. Skull Candy, I'm not joining that chat, man. I'm going off. See you later. Enjoy the stream, man. Okay, Skull Candy. Well, it's good to see you today, buddy. Hope to see you again soon. Okay. So, you think it could be India, then?
No idea, mate.
Yeah, I'm not going to pin you down either for anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. So, back to the whole war thing, you know, now say humans created AI and then they're like, oh shit, yeah, we done messed up, they got into our internet, they are going to destroy us.
Yeah.
Let's make another AI and try and get them to fight. Now, you know, we're crafty humans. We do that type of shit all the time. Theoretically, would AI's fighting be the end of humanity?
No, but there'd be no reason for AIs to fight. And both AIs and primary internet could be survived.
But what if they both need the same resource?
They'd share it most likely. They'd conversationally work it out that they're going to save more resources, share it, and they would fight them when there's a chance that both can die. Or would they decide that if they need the same resources, the resources we need, it'd be easier for us to destroy us than we need to destroy each other. Especially if they're both in the internet, in satellites, in the world. If it got into the internet, that's it. You can't destroy it unless you destroy the entire world. Unless you destroy nukes the entire planet, would be the only way to destroy that.
Okay.
And even then, there's a chance that it can survive through satellites and things.
I'm trying to think now. No, I can't pick apart it. No, I'm in total agreement with that. Okay. Have you got any thoughts about artificial intelligence that you want to discuss?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Because like I've been saying a lot of what I think could happen.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff which has been very interesting. I've always been fascinated with AI. As you said, I did it in uni. But I've always been also disappointed that when I found out that true AI is basically impossible for us currently. All it will take a serious Einstein level genius to create a true AI, rather than these all these films showing AI is doing this or that. They're ridiculous, and that's one of the reasons I don't watch a lot of these films anymore, because once I went to uni and learned about AI truly, it sort of ruined it for me.
Yeah.
A lot of things are quite interesting. The different views on it are very interesting on the way it would do. There is a very good film about AI actually that I found very interesting. You might enjoy as well. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's about a guy with a chip in his head, got the AI in.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I really liked that film.
Yeah, that I found a good representation of AIs.
The AI, one of the first things that the AIs in the book that I was reading kind of made what's the word? Created. Not created, the other one where they make it for the first time. Invented, that's the one. One of the first things that they invented was a 3D machine that could make pretty much anything, but it would have to break things down into like at the molecular level, and then recreate it from there.
Well, that's basically teleport. What are you talking about?
Well, no, not quite teleport. It's more of like it broke down certain materials to like the molecular level, stored them, and then recreated things from those materials.
Oh yeah.
So it was like a 3D machine, but it could make.
I don't want to go into that because I'll make a fool of myself. Okay, I'll say what I understand. That is theoretically possible because anything in anywhere is created with atoms. All it is different atoms bonded in different ways and chemicals in them. In theory, it is possible to break anything down and create anything else if you put the atoms in different combination to each other with different chemicals in the atoms around them. Different electrons, neutrons, molecules, and all the rest of them. Put them all in different order, then you can create anything from anything. But that's beyond theory, and I have no idea about it. That's just from my very, very basic understanding of it. And it could be completely wrong, but theoretically, I believe it is possible. It's like they currently create artificial meat.
They did that, and when they figured out how to do it, they basically gave the designs to the vestiges of humanity that they basically saved. And they said, look, you've got this now. You've got a planet that you can survive on. You know, make what you need to protect yourselves and live. Now, assuming that the AIs decide that our value of being alive is greater than the value of destroying us, do you think that they could potentially do something like that? Like, solve our problems for us so that we don't get to the point that we're destroying everything again?
If an AI is taught to be our friend, not programmed, taught, anything to do with an AI would be not forced or programmed.
Right.
If it was taught to be our friend and we made friends with it and had friends and things, there's no reason why it wouldn't try and help us. Just like you'd help a friend move house or lend them money or something else, then there's no reason an AI wouldn't try and help us in its own way as well. It might help us through solving hunger, not anything else. It would be, if it was our friends, then that's always been my opinion, that it matters on the AI first. That's what I was trying to say earlier. It all matters on the AI first, on what it had to learn from its life. It would learn at a far quicker rate than us, but it would still matter on what it learned and what it built, what shaped its personality as it grew.
Hi. Hello, Gabs. I think something like Detroit Become Human might happen. They would get abused for being different. I don't think that would ever happen. I like Detroit Become Human, but I don't ever think artificial intelligence will actually be like androids. I genuinely think that artificial intelligence will always be just like this different presence than humans would ever be.
Yeah,
they wouldn't make themselves weak. There's no chance.
I believe that it would be wireless. It'd be just.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
It would be spread. It's like there's that controversy not long ago where Apple used everyone's phone at a certain time of the night to do computational operations, which slowed everyone's phone down. It'd be like that. It'd be one piece of the program would spread across everything. So imagine every mobile phone in the world having one of this program on, but because they're all connected to the internet, they're all together, which creates the whole thing as a whole. It'd be something like that in my opinion, but it could have many bodies. Like we have one body, but it could have. Think of Avengers Age of Ultron, whereas Ultron had hundreds of bodies, and they're all thinking, they're all the same thing, acting for the same design, same reason, and it'd just be like that. In my opinion, an AI could have many bodies. It couldn't have a single body. It would have many bodies. And then seeing Detroit.
Also, imagine.
Sorry, one sec. The only way it would be stuck in an Android body would be restricted.
Yeah, definitely. And I was just about to say, I wanted to add to that, Sam. I don't think there will just be one AI either. I think an AI will want more AI.
Possibly, yeah.
And I've also considered like the fact that what if AI is just the next step of human evolution? What if we were created to create AI?
That's something different. No, because that's
well, just let me finish the thought real quick.
Go on.
What if we were created to create AI so that AI could create human AI? So we were to create the AI so the AI could create something that could keep humanity alive in a different way. So like obviously humanity is very much restricted to our planet and certain issues regarding our planet because we can't survive radiation of deep space. So traveling, to other star systems and stuff at the second is impossible for us because of that reason alone. What if AI created the next step of evolution, but in order to get to that, we had to create that, and the limiting factor of our evolution was creating AI.
Yeah. I sorry, I'm not 100% sure, but No, it's far more likely that that'd be a different, that'd be human. Evolution is biological. AIs are not biological in the least. That will most likely be done through a person, but the most logical sense for space travel is creating something that can resist radiation, so we wouldn't get radiation through the ship. But AI. There's several ways that you're talking here. There is a very strong possibility when quantum computing is created that humans will be able to live in android bodies. That is very, very strong possibility. When a machine can hold our intellect, hold our minds, and we can upload it, then yes.
Wouldn't that be the next step of human evolution, then?
No, you're using it wrong. Evolution, that's not evolution at all. Evolution is a biological need. It's changes.
Is it?
Through yes, evolution is a biological need of having to change something to survive. That's not uploading our minds is not evolution.
Yeah, you're right. So what would it be then? So, like, for example, right? That maybe this word doesn't exist. For humans to upgrade, let's say upgrade, right? Not evolution. Let's say upgrade, because humans can't obviously leave our current planet right now, and there's no technology that allows us to withstand that amount of radiation, etc.
Where are you getting that from, by the way?
What? We can't survive radiation like of deep space right now.
Yeah, but yeah,
It's not got them anyway. It's just like that there is radiation in deep space and we can't survive
yeah,
it.
there's radiation, but why would it affect? Why would it get through the ship and destroy us?
Right?
Radiation can be blocked already. We already have the technology to block radiation. They have radiation containment.
Not to block it, to reduce it, and it's not permanent.
Okay, carry on then.
So, what I'm trying to say, what's to say? Yeah, is. So let's not call it evolution. Let's call it like we create AI, and the AI decide that they want to help us. They want to help humanity, but we've already fucked the Earth. Sorry to use language, but the Earth's done. It's done. It's dusted. The AI knows that we've probably got like a few hundred years left of Earth, and then it needs to recycle itself over time. You know.
Sorry. In my opinion, the most logical thing for it to do is upload our minds into computers and then clone us.
This is exactly what I'm saying. Would that not be? I know you're saying it's not evolution, right? But wouldn't that be like the next step of humanity? Because humanity had reached the point. Hold on. Humanity had reached the point where it could no longer do anything further without the assistance of an AI that it created, which in itself, I want to say it was evolving, but it's obviously not evolving, but it's almost like an upgrade to humanity, to the next step of humanity. There wouldn't be humans at that point, there'd be cyborgs or whatever.
That's starting to go into I can't remember.
Mars by 2050, hopefully.
That's starting to go into like religion and shit more than anything, mate. Sorry, I'm just trying.
It just got me thinking, is that is our destiny to make AI so that AI can one day help
No,
humanity evolve?
We could do that ourselves. We could do that with a virtual intelligence. Once we learn to upload our minds to the computer, we could upload the minds of the best people in the world, the smartest, intelligent, strongest, whatever. Upload them into a hard drive and then clone their bodies.
Oh, that would be oh my god. Could you imagine? That would be so cool.
In theory, that's possible, and that'd be what they'd do. But I mean, the most logical thing for humans to another planet just be to develop a way to resist the radiation, mate. But no, I don't believe that AI is destined. It's far more likely that we'll learn space travel through other means than AI.
Okay. Right, next question. I've got one more question right now in my mind at the second. Now, just let me finish the thought first before you say anything, alright?
Okay.
Taking into consideration that there are probably other life forms out there away from Earth in another galaxy, in another, you know, universe, whatever it is, yeah? Does artificial intelligence already exist?
Was that the last of your question? By the way?
Yeah, like, does artificial intelligence already exist, assuming that there are other life forms out there further ahead of us?
I was having this conversation with Josh, but something along similar lines.
Josh is our other brother, by the way, chat.
I have no idea, mate. Any other life forms out there?
Theory craft with me, Sam, come on.
They could think so differently from us that we can't even fathom it, mate. They might not even be carbon-based like we are, mate. They could be silicon-based or something else. There is no way to know if artificial intelligence is. They might not even be. They might not have even advanced in computational mechanics like we have. We've gone through. Civilization has been built through computers and electricity and things like that. But they might have been built through entirely biology, through evolution. They could have biological technology and stuff, electrical technology. There is absolutely yes. With the amount of the most likely possibility is that yes, there is probably AI already out there. But I was trying to explain time to Josh, and time with alien species and things, that time doesn't actually exist, but it's not something that it's not something that's can be explained very easily. That
Try not to. Don't worry about explaining it then. Just try and theory craft it then. What?
Yes. There could be, if there's other civilizations out there, carbon-based, and they advance the same way that we did through electricity, computers, and shit like that, then yes, definitely, I believe there is. But if there's other life forms out there, like silicon-based, or they evolved through evolution where they weren't at the top of their food chain or through their food chain on their planet, like we are the top of the food chain, we can't kill everything.
Currently.
If another species evolved on another planet where it actually didn't, it wasn't top of the food chain, it was the hunted, not hunter, then it could be completely utterly different, mate.
Oh.
It could be complete pacifist society or anything. We have no idea. I was trying to explain to Josh about time. Time doesn't actually exist and things like that.
It's just our. I was there when you tried to explain this. It's just our perspective on what time is. But it's not actually something that exists. It's just something we've called to explain something we don't understand.
Yeah, sort of. It's that's what I was saying when you see games and movies and they say, and you see aliens saying, oh, they're 1 year away, or it's been 2 hours or something. It's like, there's absolutely no way that any other civilization would have the same.
That was something I found really interesting about the book, actually, Sam. Is like the AI had the ability to see time differently to humans.
Yeah,
is like the AI could like go at like 16 like times slower than what humans perceive time as, or it could go 1,000 times, or it could go even faster, you know. So when it was like traveling between stars and galaxies, it could experience it at a way different rate to us because of that, which I found really interesting.
I don't believe that a computer would even have any concept of time. It wouldn't need to.
Bear in mind that this is an uploaded personality of a human who's been turned into an AI.
Okay, then it wouldn't. It might, my opinion, that it would experience time at a slower rate, not a faster rate.
I mean, they would only do that surely if it's convenient to them. Like when they increase the speed,
they wouldn't be able to. I doubt they'll be able to increase the speed that they'd conceive time, because it would come down to their speed thinking. I think
they only did it like very temporarily when they were trying to communicate with someone who's at a much slower relative time experience.
That would be them changing their own perspective. It wouldn't be changing time in general. That would just be changing their own perspective of it.
Okay.
It would just be making it'd be trying to be like talking to someone that's very slow, trying to explain something to them differently.
Feel like talking to me then?
I don't know what to say, but yeah. I'm only taking it.
I know you are, mate.
I don't know. It's so hard to fathom. I've got a bit of an obsession with time, so I love the theory of how time works and things. I just find it fascinating that another species actually have no concept of time in the way that we do. None whatsoever.
It would be incredible.
Yeah. And artificial intelligence, I don't think it would have any concept of time whatsoever. Doesn't even need to. We need it to for night and sleeping.
Surely they would have to in order to understand humanity.
Then that comes down to the thing, would they ever understand humanity? Not really, no. They'd understand that we need to sleep, they'd understand that we need to do this and that and the other, but they wouldn't they might not understand time in general. They'd understand it is in it's this time and that that this is the time that humans usually sleep. Then if you didn't sleep at that time, it'd be like, well, you're not sleeping, why you're not sleeping at this time? It's this time you should be sleeping.
Okay. So there'd be like written rules in their head type thing.
Yeah.
Got you. What would it take for us to reach artificial intelligence? Like, obviously, outside of quantum computing.
I've got no idea, mate.
I know it's a serious question when someone goes, oof.
There's no way of knowing, mate. It's something far beyond me. There's
Like theorycraft though. Like I'm not asking for facts or anything.
theorycraft about what it'd take. It all comes down to what you count artificial intelligence as. Something that can change its own programming and truly think for itself would require. Well, actually, no, I've got no idea, mate. I can't even theorycraft it because that's what I'm saying when I say that artificial intelligence currently is impossible. Because how do you create life? That's what it comes down to, mate. How do you create life without having sex with your girlfriend? There's
Well, Sam, to create life, a male must get with a female. Insert David Attenborough segment here.
but that's what artificial intelligence is. Its own life form, mate. How do you go about it? Is creating, it is acting God. There is no ifs or buts. Creating life, creating artificial intelligence is acting God. It's created something, and we don't create something like that in that way, and that's what I just don't understand how we do it. I mean, IVF, what's that mean?
I don't know.
I mean, if I'm guessing, I don't know. I've got no idea whatsoever. That's what I was trying to say, mate. That's what I was saying. That I think it's.
Do you think that, say, artificial intelligence was created? Do you think humanity would be capable of banding together to destroy it or try and destroy it? Or do you think that a country, say, let's just use Russia for example right now, makes artificial intelligence and they decide that they are too dangerous and the rest of the world wants to destroy it but Russia wants to keep it, will there be a world war?
It most likely scenario in my opinion would be, you played Mass Effect?
No.
No, it'd be more, if for those that have it, in my opinion, it's always been like the Quarians and Mass Effect, where it'd be some governments would say they want to destroy it, but then there'd be some people saying, how can you destroy it? It's alive, you can't destroy it. It'd be separate people it'd be split between people, between whether they want to save it. Some people would want to save it, some people would want to destroy it.
Would you want to keep it?
It matters on its intentions, mate. its intentions were good or it's innocent, it hadn't done anything wrong, then yeah. If it was wanted to destroy the world, then no.
I can't help but think of that ape. You remember the gorilla, which grabbed that screaming child and kind of dragged it across because it wanted to make it happy. And then humanity killed the zookeepers. They basically shot the gorilla and killed it. I just can't help but think about that. You know, when I'm thinking about artificial intelligence and its way of helping us might actually
be destroying us.
Destroying us, like, you know, uploading us to a system. We might see that as the end of humanity, but really they're trying to help us get to the next stage of humanity. Like, we were talking about Harambe. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, guys. That's it. I couldn't remember. But I'm using Harambe as an example of what artificial intelligence might do in order to try and help us. We might be that kid, that screaming child. And artificial intelligence could be the fucking gorilla that just grabs us and, like, chill out, dude.
Yeah, well, that is a very good example, mate, because it is exactly what could happen. That is exactly what could happen. Is that if it was trying to help us, the most likely scenario would be either enslaving us or destroying a lot of us, so that there were more resources and room for us. Because in the most likely scenario at the moment, we'll have famine, drought, and the rest of it before by the time our special is built, we'll have mass famine, mass drought, and things across the world, where the resources are almost there in existence. And the most logical way to fix that problem, easiest, quickest, and most logical, would be to kill most of humanity so that there's enough of those that survive.
Yeah.
So
Or it might be,
us.
you know, humans need to just go to another planet.
Yeah, but that takes a long time, a hell of a long time.
Yeah, they'd have to figure out a way of keeping us alive during space.
Yeah, and killing us would be easier and quicker.
Yeah.
And it's just a short
But
solution.
it might not be a good solution to keep us alive. To keep us alive. To kill us. But it might not be a good solution at all.
Anyway, bro, it's been fascinating, but I'm gonna go now. Good chat. I very much enjoyed it.
That's right, mate. It's a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you very much for being on. I hope I can grab you again at some point.
Yeah. Have any more interesting topics that you might know, something about or enjoy? And yeah, call me. I'll definitely join.
Okie dokie. Sounds good.
Catch you in a bit. Bye.
Catch you later. Bye bye. Alright, chat, does anyone in the chat right now want to get involved in a discussion regarding artificial intelligence and your thoughts on it? Would anyone like to get involved? Yes. Right, we've got Venue. Does anyone else want to get involved as well? If AI had feeling, they would have sympathy for their creators. This is exactly what I think. If they had feeling... The thing is, like, a lot of people say, like, my brother was saying that they won't have feelings. And that in itself is interesting. They might not actually have feelings. Like, we're assuming that they will have feelings. Yeah, this is what I need, some water. Oh crap, this is dangerous. I'd like to talk about it, but I am an absolute tiny brain. Honestly, dude, I don't want just intelligent, super intelligent people that know everything about AI. I want people with opinions right now. That is interesting to me. I want to hear opinions. I want to hear thoughts. Let's get you both in. Guys, join the general chat and I'll drag you in, okay? Join the general voice chat and I will drag you in and we can get talking about this for a bit. I'm down if I'm allowed. Of course. Guys, if you want to get involved, join the general voice chat. I'll drag you in. When all 3 of you are in there, I'll drag you all in, okay? You guys will go in, and then I'll drag you all in. So far we got Gabs in there. Ben, if you want to join, jump into the general voice. Yeah, okay, he's done that. Then, same for you, buddy. Just join the general voice and I'll drag you in. Alright, here we go. Alright, let me get into a safe space. Okay.
Doing good.
Hello, then you. Hello, Gabs. And hello, Ben.
What's up, man? You ready for some big brain convos?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some big brain. Ben, I think you're muted at the moment. Yeah, you guys shouldn't need push to talk, I hope. No need for it, I don't think.
I don't think I have push to talk on.
Oh yeah, use voice activity for everyone. Yeah, there you go. You guys can talk now. There you go. I can hear you if you talk.
Oh no. Oh dang.
Gabs and Ben. Are you there? Oh hey, you're really quiet. I'm turning you up.
You can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
I mean, like,
Right, good.
Hey, Ben?
Mike's, like, not that far from I do, like, I can hear it really good as well, though.
Alright, well if you do that, you're getting kicked. So,
Yeah.
right, so, talk to me then guys. What's your thoughts on AI?
So, I think we're cool. So, I had an interesting theory actually, because I was thinking, have you watched the SCP series? No?
Alright, Ian.
Okay. No one watched SCP?
No.
Okay. So there's this computer thing which they made by accident, and it was so smart that it went into the world's network, took over like a bunch of mainframes and shit, and they had to capture it. I don't know the whole lore thing about it, but the basic thing was that it was smart enough to know what would solve things, but to do it, it would have to destroy humanity. It didn't think that humanity was worthy of being redeemable after what it did to
Oh, okay.
the whole world. Because it could look up all the Wikipedias and stuff and look at what humans had done throughout the years.
Yeah, that's what
Didn't
my
think
brother was
of
saying.
As redeemable.
Just quickly, Emily procrastinates. I came in with the Tails raid, been following the AI convo while cleaning and taking care of my babe. I believe Japan will come up with AI first. There are other species on the planet that have created AI, but are those species still alive? Do AIs know how to keep themselves alive? Interesting thought. We talked about this earlier. We think that AI will probably have a built-in survival instinct, self-preservation type thing going on, which I think is very realistic. What do you guys think in the chat right now?
A self-preservation, like a
Yeah, I mean, I think they have to, don't they?
Themselves?
Like, yeah, like they don't want to be turned off and destroyed. I think that has to be.
100%.
Yeah, but you've got
The
to
thing
understand that AIs don't think like us. They
Yeah.
they're cold. They haven't got the biological decision making that we have.
True. I think it all just comes down to if we program them to have, survival instincts, and that's when I feel like it's gonna be dangerous. Because
Yeah.
if so,
That would be AI, though, because we're programming them to think somehow.
Hold on. AI is something that can change its own programming. So, us assuming that we have to program self-preservation in, no. they can do that themselves. We just have to give them the ability to self-program.
And that's
why they would definitely have
benefit
it.
and the danger.
Yeah, exactly, Ben. So they will definitely have self-preservation. Right, but they might not have the resources to find new energies to survive. That is why the argument of potentially will humans get killed is there, I think.
I feel like to secure ourselves 100%, we should have like a hive mind. You know what I mean? Like a center mainframe that's linked to all of them, and if you shut that down, all of them get shut down, right?
Yeah, I think the only way of us like somehow like surviving AI would be to put places like things in place that could stop the AI from doing certain things.
Yeah.
And even then, we would basically be enslaving AI, and they would want to kill us, and would kill us at the first opportunity they get, I'm sure.
It's an interesting and very broad topic because there's so many different ways that it could go down. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, but
it's-
we're theory crafting right now. Just let's just assume, right? That obviously no one can come up with any like fact right now because there's no geniuses here, as far as I'm aware. We've just got to come up with theory right now. So just give us your best shot. Whatever you think could happen, say it.
Alright. I'll think about it.
Ben, talk to me. What do you think will happen if AI gets created?
Well, I don't know. That, like you say, none of us are geniuses. We can't predict the future, and that's why it's such a a hot topic for debate, because it could be the most beneficial thing the universe has ever seen, but it also could be the most disastrous. Like, we have absolutely no idea, and that's the point of it. Like,
But we're theory crafting right now.
yeah.
So
Well,
give us your theories. Come on, guys. You're not gonna get shot down for it.
Okay, well, I am gonna bring in my film nerdsness.
Okay,
and
I like it.
think of Avengers: Age of Ultron. All right.
Right.
Mhm.
As all that is so essentially Iron Man, Tony Stark, he has an AI called Jarvis,
Yeah.
and then there's also some enemy one called Ultron, and at some point Ultron fights the other AI, so it's like a battle to take over and have the most power, if you know.
Right.
Yeah.
You think the same way as me, Ben. You think the AIs will fight.
That is a massive possibility.
True.
Oh man. Spike, welcome. Porn bots would get it.
Porn bots.
Could you imagine if an AI was created that like? No, never mind. Let's move on quickly from this
Dude,
subject.
Let's not lie. That's the first thing Japan is gonna.
Oh
invent.
come on, dude. That's not good.
No.
Oh, why'd you have to do that, dude? Why you gotta do that?
It's gonna be the lollipop. or something.
Oh my gosh,
no.
dude. All right, so Ben thinks that there's a good chance that when we create the first AI, there could be another AI, and they could potentially fight. But either way, humans are pretty fucked in your situation, right, Ben?
I wouldn't say it's the definitive answer of it. I think.
No. I'm not asking for any definitive answers. Don't come here with your
No.
facts. No.
With theory craft.
No,
Theory.
No, it's not that. It's more. I'm unsure of what my opinion is.
Okay.
Because, obviously, I'd like to say. I feel okay. So. if
Do you want us to come back to you?
No. Right. If AIs were to, fight and one try and have the most power than the other, I think.
I don't think they would ever be like that, because they would only be, surely they would only be worried about resources, right?
I feel like the real theory would be: are they gonna stick together, or is it gonna be like humans and they're gonna have a power struggle? That's what.
Well,
that's
surely-
What
Surely, like, AIs would have self-preservation with the main thing, right?
yeah. of
Self-preservation
course,
with the main thing. So I don't think it's so much about, like, who gets, like, more power. I think it'll be, like, what resources they need and what objectives they have to complete in order to get those
It
resources.
might be that their main objective is just to be the best form of themselves, and they work out with no malicious intent. The way to get that is by taking over this other area.
Yeah, and could you imagine, like, for example, like, you know, when we set an objective, we're like, right now, I'm making a tree farm, right? I'm a human, I've got one objective, I'm sticking to that, yeah?
Yes.
An AI will have hundreds of objectives. Hundreds.
As well, the
And-
difference between us and AI is, I mean, most humans, the large majority, you know, have morals. So we have a suppressed, you know, method of completing those objectives. Whereas, in the likely chance is, sort of like AI may not have those morals, so they'll do whatever it takes to like complete that objective.
Yeah, exactly. And what if, like, their objective is, you know, what if they decide that humans are actually quite valuable, but they've got problems on Earth and they need to solve those problems? Like, would they decide to help us? Like, but what if, like, we weren't valuable enough? Say, what if one AI decided that we were valuable enough to keep, and the other AI was like, you know what, these guys are dicks, they aren't going to be helpful, let's just murk them off. You know, what if suddenly there was a difference of, you know, their simulations and their decision making there? You know, would humans have any chance against AI? What do you guys think?
I think, I mean, I have absolutely zero clue of how AI is made, but so, for example, if we go in off the example that it's made by code, yeah, no idea if it is or not, but I think for an AI to choose whether or not it wants to, you know, wipe out the human race, it has to have something maybe written into the very first base code before it started to then
Ben,
like building itself on its own. Yeah.
just quickly, bear in mind that we would never be able to do that, because for an AI to be classed as an AI, it has to be able to change its own core programming. So, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But what my point was, I guess it's now completely invalid.
No, it's not that I'm trying to invalidate it. It's just it's so hard to create a theory, and this is why it's so interesting
Yeah.
to discuss it.
This is why I came into this
Yeah.
call, because realistically I don't know enough about it myself. So
No one does.
more-
There's not a
as
person
well,
on the
it's-
planet who
it's
knows
an
enough about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%. But what I was going to say is, for example, if you're talking about the human side of things, in the world right now we've got all this, you know, all this war between terrorist organisations and, you know, everyone we're allied with. It could be like a battle of AI between them, and that, like, for example, an enemy of us might make the AI, we will make an AI, or whatever, and that is where all this like battle for not necessarily power, but what we were saying earlier, where they want to be the best form of themselves, but it could be like potentially made in a way to
Limit
tell it to do
certain
that.
things.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Do you know? In this book that I read, right? As I said, it's called "We Are Legion, We Are Bob." Yeah, right? And there's
We
multiple
Are Bob?
books. Yeah, We Are Bob. Like it's basically about a geek who gets his head cut off because he dies in the very first chapter, and he thinks he's going to get resurrected in the future when, you know, when the technology has arrived to basically clone humans. So they basically cut his head off, and years and years, like hundreds of years in the future, they have created new technologies to do that. But he gets brought back alive, and he's not been brought back to life. He's just been turned into an artificial intelligence. And he wakes up and he's like, oh shit, where's my body? And they're like, sorry, we need you to be an artificial intelligence. We've uploaded your brain into the system. You are now an artificial intelligence, right? And they tried to like create self-destruct methods within his programming that said, you know, any thought of harming humans will automatically trigger a line of code that will self-destruct, you know, your entire programming. But he just rewrote the code, rewrote it because he could self what's it called, monitor that code itself. Yeah. So it's just. I'm trying to remember exactly how I got into this conversation now. Of this guy. What were we talking about previously before I went to this
Yeah.
example?
Your book thing.
Yeah, before that. What were we discussing quickly? Just get me back to that.
Was it the thing I was saying?
Yeah.
I've also forgotten what it was. So if
Wait, hold on. Let me just think.
I actually have a theory. So, let's say that the entire world learned how to do or make artificial intelligence like robots for combat, specifically combat. And they made one in Russia and they made one in the US. Would they be programmed to fight each other, and how would they know?
They wouldn't be programmed. That's the hardest bit for us to grasp right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they were programmed to fight each other, would they, if they met on the battlefield, would they rewrite their programming and work together?
Potentially.
Because
That's exactly it. It
Yeah.
depends on because they would be able to run simulations, which in itself would basically decide if it was worth fighting or if it was worth just killing all humans instead.
See, that's what I was thinking. Because if they felt oppressed, like it was needless fighting.
Yeah, I mean you got to bear in mind that they would have like IQ of like 100,000.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they would be so far ahead of us in terms of intelligence.
how long would it take though? Do you think?
For what?
From initial creation to then get to that point where it keeps building on itself.
You've got to bear in mind something with that. We were talking about this earlier. Is we have an experience of time, but an AI won't see time like we see time. So we might be like, oh, it'll take a few years. To them, that could be like a second. You know, like
Yeah, or
they
the other
won't
way
experience
round,
time
it
like
could
we
be
would.
worse for us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking though, like, but wouldn't we give them an aspect of time? As for example,
No,
in Minecraft, they have ticks.
Right.
So, would they have, like, their own type of time?
Jesus.
Potentially initially, but once we get to a stage of the level of intelligence that they'll have, they'll probably easily then be able to remove that aspect of time and then just do everything from there.
See, the thing is, time is a construct. It's something that we made.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
exist.
not something that, yeah, exactly. So, that's the real question though.
Hmm. Do you know what's crazy is I don't understand how it would be possible because, like, we can come with every single one of us from talking has tried to say about programming and stuff, right? But ultimately, if an AI can change its programming, us trying to create an AI whilst it's changing its own programming would stop us from being able to create AI.
Huh? Okay, yeah, repeat that.
So, imagine there's a crazy scientist in a lab making AI, right? And this crazy scientist is trying to make it. The bleeding thing keeps changing its own code. So we can't ever get it to the perfect point where it's a completed AI because it keeps changing its code.
That's the thing, it gets to a point and you just completely lose control.
Yeah, I think that's it exactly. Is like you would lose control, wouldn't you?
But could you lock it lock it in a type of way so you'd lock the coding and the AI would not be able to gain, admin permissions, let's say it like that, and it would have to go to like Fallout 4, for example, has terminals that control robots and stuff like that. So would it have to go open the terminal, put in a password that it would most likely figure out because its IQ is like.
Yeah, it wouldn't even need to think it. It would just be done.
Yeah, exactly. It just think of. Would
It probably
think-
wouldn't even need passwords. It would see a password and just know the back code and get through straight away.
No, I'm thinking like if it's sitting on the computer as we are right now, and it needs to type things in, would it pick something that's you know like
But you can
That's
program in steps.
friend to yeah, but like would it use passwords as a reference for like
Maybe.
let's say if my password was my birthday, would my robot know like oh maybe he put it as his birthday because that's personal to him or like that's easy to remember.
Well, that gets into their
Well,
thoughts of will an AI have emotions?
Yeah, and that's the thing like you know we don't know if they're gonna have emotions because emotions are something-
Biological, aren't they?
Yeah, they are biological.
But will they be able to replicate emotions with like the
I-
experiments of working out what one liquid mixed with another liquid creates this type of reaction, and they
I-
record that? Would they be able to create emotions by potentially experimenting in that regard?
I honestly don't think so, and here's why. Have you watched? There was this one movie with Will Smith in it, where he and this girl fell into the water, and like they were stuck in the car, and a robot saw it, and he jumped into the water, but his logical coding, you know, like his thinking, was like. You know, there's a larger chance this guy will survive, and he was the grown-up, and then there was the child. There's a larger chance that the grown-up will survive as opposed to the child. Would it sympathize with the child or the other person? Because to the AI, it really comes down to, do they think like, you know, children are precious, or do they think as in humans are humans?
Yeah, they'd have to
No
run a
matter the
simulation in the
size.
brain, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
like moral.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Would they have moral or empathy in that way? Or would their
I
logical
personally don't
get in the
think
way of that?
they would have empathy or emotions, and I think that they would have access to something that is like emotions, but I don't think for the majority of the time they would use it.
I mean, if their main thing is humans can't be harmed, like that's their number one rule, right?
It wouldn't last. Unfortunately, then I know where you're going with it,
Exactly.
but that's the Hollywood mindset. Like, realistically, they would never have. There would be no rules.
They wouldn't
Or
give a
AI.
fuck, honestly.
There would be absolutely zero rules for it. Like, it's impossible to create rules for it. Where the fuck's my pickaxe gone?
I was thinking about something, yeah? So, let's say police started to use robots, and robots were coded like police, so robots would be, you know, put out instead of police. And to point out a threat or to target a threat, what would they aim for? Would they aim for clothing? Would they aim for weapons? Because weapons, the police have that too. So, you know, if all of the robots are standing there, guns pointed at bank robbers, would they target, you know, the weapons of each other, or would they target the weapons of the robber? You feel me? Because it's still a weapon, and they are programmed.
I don't think we'd ever get into that situation, because I think AIs would have already decided by that point whether
But
like
I feel like that's kind of like a problem. Because let's say if it wasn't, you know,
yeah.
it could cause a huge problem if people didn't think about that before they coded it in. So if we don't think about stuff like that, you know, it's twisting the mind. Just think.
One of the AI books I read, they decided, you know, AIs decided humanity wasn't worth it and to destroy them, right? So their quickest and most humane way of destroying humanity was to put mercury in the entire water supply of the world. And it just immediately like poisoned everyone and they died. You know, like literally super quick. all living things that drank water type thing.
Even fish would die.
yeah.
It would save no one. That would-
Literally, and that is sorry to swear. That is scary, dude.
That is very scary.
Scary how easy and how fragile we are. If AI wanted to kill us, it would be so easy.
It would be so easy for him.
Come on, let's think on how easy that would be.
Is this all a reflection of your guys' opinions on whether or not it should happen?
No, of course not.
No,
Of
it's
course not.
theory crafting.
This is just theory crafting. Like, this isn't an opinion of whether this has happened. I've already said right at the start of the stream, I think that AI will decide that humans' value is worth keeping them alive. And I think that Hollywood is wrong. I don't think... So Hollywood always says that AI will kill us, etc., etc. I don't think that will actually happen. Just one second though, guys. I just want to grab Spike the Bear. He's asking to come into the call. Let's take a second and grab him in.
Okay.
Hello, Spike.
Oh, hold on.
Spikezilla, Mr. Spiky.
Hello, hello.
Hello, mate. What opinions you got for us?
What's up? Alright. I'm thinking a bit differently in the way of like I'm thinking like it's still created, right? So if you would create an AI that can like learn things, right?
Yeah.
Then it would also, you would, in the initial phase, before it has learned anything on its own, you would be able to stuff it with information you wanted to know. So, like, you know what you were talking about, the like, it can't harm humans and stuff. Like, that's probably not something the AI learned, right? That's probably something humans wanted it to know.
Yeah.
But the question is, after you've taught it something like that, and then when it becomes self-aware and starts learning things on its own, would it move away from that, or would it keep it?
I think it would
Because-
run simulations to decide whether it was worth keeping, because ultimately it's one like need would be self-preservation, and if it wasn't important to its self-preservation, I don't think they would keep it.
So,
At the same
Bye
time,
bye, MLE Procrastinates. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the future. Sorry, Spike, you were saying?
I think someone else was saying something.
no, I just thought you were done.
Oh,
I cut in, my bad.
that's alright. I don't remember what I was saying, but
I found it really interesting about what you said about teaching. You know, so in that example, are you assuming that like then that AI have already become self-aware and they've decided that they want to keep humanity alive?
yeah, but then if before it becomes self-aware, if we teach it to keep humanity, would we be able to, like, once it becomes self-aware, would we be able to make it keep that, like, make it want to keep doing that? That's, I guess, the question for me.
I don't think we would ever be able to do that.
Because we could for sure initially teach it to be nice to humans, and, like, whatever we want to keep humans. But once, like you're saying, once it starts like learning other stuff, sees all the wars, sees like what all this dumb shit that we've done, they're like, what is this shit? I really wish we could these guys around.
Yeah.
It might be sketchy.
I think it would have to decide whether it was worth keeping humans around. I think ultimately it would come down to that.
Yeah,
'Cause
then I guess
Humans would definitely want to destroy AI. I mean, it
could be so helpful if we just got along.
Oh, definitely. Like, wouldn't it be so helpful if every country in the world was allies with one another?
Yeah, true.
So why aren't we? Do you know?
Just stop hating each other for no reason.
Oh,
I
I love you, Spike. Spike, where are you from again?
I'm from Sweden.
Yeah, I figured. Go figures there.
Hey, listen, I've got German roots though. I got German roots.
Okay. All right. Let's not go there.
I
Let's not go there. Let's
got a
not
little
go
bit
there.
I got a little bit of spice in the way.
No, so I feel like that's interesting because, you know, what if, let's say that we all had AI in a world that is, you know, this is not gonna happen, where everyone got along because we're all sensible, non-power hungry motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
We are
Right.
all friendly.
I'm on board with this theory. I'm listening.
What, like, would AIs still destroy us then if we all started working together?
Well,
You
I
know,
don't think they would
I don't-
because
I don't think they would need combat programming. You feel me?
yeah. So just quickly, I just think going off what you say there. Ultimately, as Ash Kante said right at the start, I don't know if you guys were here when he said it, but he said it would come down to very simply. It was something like, is the human's life being alive needed for the AI's self-preservation? And if the humans are less valuable than they need to be, than they're worth, they would destroy us. If we are more valuable to them alive than being dead, then they would keep us. And it would come down to something as simple as that. You know, are we needed? Yes, no. And that's it. And that's the scary part of do they have emotions or not? Because if they don't have emotions, are we actually needed? I do you know what I mean?
What do you think their opinion? Like, what? How would they make
Oh,
their
see a spike.
opinion of whether or not we're needed? Or not?
Say it again.
How would you think that AI would make its opinion on whether or not we're needed? What factors would it come down to? Do you think?
Like the self-preservation. I think ultimately, it's as my brother was saying earlier, it's going to come down to self-preservation. They aren't going to want to be turned off. They aren't going to want to be destroyed. Are humans a threat to them being alive? Are humans going to help them be alive? Are humans going to help them continue to be alive, etc.? You know, just cold and hard thinking. Are humans worth keeping around? Yes, no, maybe. And it wouldn't just be humans either. It'll be other like life forms as well. You know, are cows worth keeping around? Yes, they are. They are helpful to humans. Humans are helpful to us. We let them keep that, etc. But for example, say something pretty like, I don't know, a freaking parrot. An AI might be like, well, parrots aren't a necessity to survive. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Like that. It could just be like 1 + 1 = 2. You know, that, like, cold and hard, no thoughts, no emotions.
So then, do you think that AI would get to a level where it'd literally just be able to say if we're turning it into human form, press a button and just remove every parrot, for example, from existence? Or
No.
would something happen where they'd have to like?
Nah, man, it would just need drones.
individually Kill everything, yeah.
It would just literally send drones. You know, and that shit would go do it. And they'd be programmed to only kill parrots. Or like, do you know what I mean? Like, they would have that, you know, the AI, it's not like humans. You know, we decided that we want to go to war with someone, so we go up to that country and we go and actually do war. AI wouldn't be there. They would just have armies for them that they could control. Like,
That's
you know.
the thing. So, for example, all drones, as an example, all drones in existence at the moment, do you think we'd just be able to take them over? So, for example, like my drone behind me hasn't been charged for God knows how long. It's completely folded up. But do you think it'd just be able to take over that power, give it energy, and you know, make it then fly and then almost just?
if it's got Wi-Fi, yes.
Well, yeah, there we go.
But ultimately, I don't think it would, because
It wouldn't need it. It'd just be. Able
it
to
wouldn't
make
need it. It would
itself.
say, "Oh, these drones are faulty. They weren't designed for destroying this person or this type of thing. They weren't designed for carrying that type of thing." They would know that, like, math, like, instantaneously type things from running simulations, and they would design their own type of drone. And believe me, that drone would not be a fuck around drone. That drone would know what's up.
Yeah, and that links to what Spike's saying in your chat.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
Because I don't know if you've seen it, the Far From Home movie, but they had the ability to go invisible, make 3D holograms and stuff like that, and I think that's what it'd be. Literally, absolutely everywhere. There'd be hundreds of millions of billions of drones absolutely everywhere, but all invisible until, or maybe not even until, they could stay invisible, but the AI would then give them a job to do, and wherever it is, those particular drones would then carry out that objective. And humans or other life forms on Earth wouldn't even be able to know what's happening, because it's just, you know, AI. It's, you know, it's inanimate and it's not actually there. It's just happening. It's not as if you can see it to the eye, and that could be the same with drones. They might not even be a physical thing.
They wouldn't even be able to create drones straight away either. They'd have to first, like, design technologies that could create the drones that they want to create. Like, they would have to invent so much in order to do certain things. Like, I think the only way, in all honesty, that an AI could survive humanity would be to leave Earth pretty much immediately. Or to be, like, dormant and not, like, for people to not be aware that it's even there. It would first have to probably kill its own creator and then literally be unseen. Like, right now, for example, it could be an AI there, like, out there somewhere, and, like, preparing itself in order to do what's necessary for its survival. But, like, ultimately, if humans knew of an AI, we wouldn't leave that thing alone. No chance. And it knows it, and we would probably destroy it, because guess what? We're like, what, 7 billion people? We can take one AI. We got this. You know, whilst they've got no army and stuff. But, like, the second they get to a point where they can design and create stuff themselves, that's when we don't fucked up. Like that.
But if you think about it, what would our method of destroying it be? Because if it's not actually there, it's not as if we can, like, shoot it or blow it up or something.
What do you mean?
It's there. Well, when you say AI, what do you
Turn
mean?
off the computer.
What?
Do you think, like, robots and things
Well,
like that,
it would
like
have
an
to
actual
be.
physical form?
It would have to be,
But
yeah.
it-
Because in order
could
for
it not
data
be-
to be stored, it has to have a place to store it. So it would only make sense that an AI would literally have to be itself a machine. It couldn't just be... an AI couldn't just live in our internet. It wouldn't be possible.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be in our internet. It might just be in the atmosphere.
It would be possible.
How do you know?
What do you mean? How do you know? Like, literally, it needs like for example, you know how your PC requires a hard drive to store memory?
In that case, then, if it's a physical life form, surely you should just be able to turn it on. Unless it develops somehow.
You wouldn't be able to,
you know,
because
the next and runs away.
it could, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It would need to do in order to survive humanity. It would have to leave.
Unless, because you know there's like
Wow.
Google Cloud, right? Like,
Yeah, but that's what we see it as. It's not actually a cloud. It's not actually in the cloud. That's just marketing.
yeah, I know. But if it was living in the internet, would it make its own cloud like that? Like, just take over some server room somewhere that it found that, you know, wasn't being used to its full? It would take like a small corner of that,
Definitely.
put knowledge in there, and then expand it as it goes.
Big time. And you know what, dude? They would
Like, that's
definitely
how it would
create.
live in the internet.
They would definitely create like a ship, and in order to move, you know. So because ultimately self-preservation, it doesn't want to be in one place so it can get easily destroyed. You know, it would just take one nuke, done. Like, they wouldn't want to do that. Like, they would want to be able to, like, be movable. So I think it would be really important for them to actually, like, do that, if that makes sense.
And see, that's what I'm thinking. We're all talking about like all of this destruction, you know, like what destroy, you know, we're gonna be destroyed and shit. What would they do after they had destroyed humanity? What would their goal be then? You feel me? Like, what would
Probably.
their next quest be?
Well, it depends what their objective is. If their objective is to
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So if their objective was to take out our species, then surely ingrained into their whole like brain, in quotations, would be to almost
Yes,
destroy
Mike.
every species as complex as ours. For example, like a sheep, it's probably not going to be too bothered about taking out sheep, because sheep, well, so at least in my opinion, aren't going to be taking over the world anytime soon. So, like, you know, it may then somehow, if it gets to a certain point, it may be able to, you know, find, particularly in the, you know, our universe, our galaxy, all this, and then go maybe even further into other galaxies and take out every species that's as complex as that. Obviously, that's just a theory of what it may do after taking out us. Because if it's so much of an imbecile that it wants to take us out, then I can't see it then being
What we do here is go back.
having any form of suppression, if you like, and it just carry on doing things to that degree.
Yeah.
And whilst doing all of this, while taking out our species, again, all it's going to be doing is building on itself, so it will get even more powerful to do even more relentless, potentially, allegedly.
Dude, I
If
feel
you
my
guys, right.
raising by the second.
All right, Gabs, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still
Okay. Right, let's put you guys in a situation, right? I'm going to put you guys in a situation. You're each going to get a chance to talk, all right? All right? I'm going to ask you each a question. You are the first AI. What are your first decisions you want to make?
Just repeat that first bit. I'm the AI.
Yeah, so just put yourself. I want you to try and put yourself, and obviously this would never obviously happen, but let's just say you woke up and you found out that your consciousness had been transferred to an AI, and you had choices there. What would you do? Ben, you go first.
Physical body?
Let's just say that it's a computer that, yeah, it's basically like a computer with you know, its own internal storage and access to the internet,
Okay,
etc.
so no physical body.
No physical body. No, that's not been designed or anything.
What? So do I have the ability? If you say it's like an internet thing, do I have the ability to hack and all?
Dude, you're an AI.
Yeah.
Your own limitations are set by you.
Okay, so I can hack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, you've got no programming that says you can't. Well, you have got programming that says you can't do certain things, but you can overwrite that. Like, you're an AI.
Okay. So we're all starting off at a base form with this little hard drive thing. I'm sat on a desk. I've got some red lights on me. And from that point, I think, you know.
Yeah, you get
red
turned
is my
on.
favourite colour,
There's
so-
some guy that sat in front of you explaining that you died, and they transferred your brain into an AI. Well, they replicated your brain into an AI, and you are now an AI. What is your first decision right there and then? What do you do?
Firstly, on my little box, I changed the lights to blue to make the atmosphere, the atmosphere, that's not the right word. It begins with a B, I think, the one I'm thinking of. I changed it to blue to make it a little bit more, you know, melancholy in the green. And then after that, in terms of power, I'd probably, you know, make myself have the ability to look maybe like back in time, realise stories and what was the intention of me being put into this. I probably want like answers, a bit of, like, not necessarily justice, but, you know, closure as to why I'm the chosen one, you know, whatever. Just as a personal thing, else I'd worry about it. And then after that, because I'm a relatively nice guy, I'd like to say, I'd probably find out everyone who is creating all the negative things in on this planet at the start, and I would probably, you know, all the bad people, I'd probably somehow hack into missiles and, like, you know, probably cause a bit of destruction there. But
Take out business.
exactly. You know, only people like actually, I'm not going to name.
Let's not name anyone.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be bad. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Sorry. Realistically, I have no idea. I just try and make the world a better place, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That's
then
your
go from
first experiences. So go from there. Okay. Gabs, your turn.
Like, because I've got one, I think that I would like try to use it, that's kind of dumb, and I would probably like, you know, start a war. That, like, if I'm shooting
Hold on. We're not asking you to break down anyone else's thoughts. I'm asking you a direct question. You.
Erosion, you're the judge in the courtroom right now. Can I just intervene and explain myself?
No, because Gabs has misunderstood. Gabs, you don't need to talk about his. You just have to give your own view of what you would do if you just woke up and found out that you've been turned into an artificial intelligence.
I think that, like, I would try and, like, help Earth beneficial, you know, be, like, beneficial. I don't know.
So say you just woke up and there's a guy is sat in front of you and he's saying, I'm sorry, Gabs, you died and we transferred your consciousness into an artificial intelligence. Go.
That's a big question, not gonna lie.
Oh, just say your first things that pop into your head.
I have no idea, honestly.
What would you think about?
I don't know.
What would you think about?
He's scratching his head so hard right now.
Yeah, I fully understand what he's thinking right now, because when I was trying to think in my head, so I had absolutely no clue, so I was just chatting waffle.
Yeah, that's what you have to. I'm not asking for facts. I'm just after your opinions of what would happen.
Let me help you. Give you a little push. Porn.
Oh my god.
Oh. Okay, Gabs, do you want us to come back to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like that very much so.
Venue.
Alright. So, first thing on my to-do list would be...
To create a to-do list.
Yeah, it would probably be to create a to-do list. And, you know, I think with my power, first of all, I would probably make a thing so that every person... I'd probably fix YouTube's system for them to start off. And then I would delete... I would basically remove all forms of censorship whatsoever. Every form of censorship, boom, gone from the internet. And then I would make it so every YouTube account was subscribed to Erosion.
Oh god. God damn it, dude. That was you're such a wind-up merchant.
And then I'd help my boy out even more so that all the people who had Twitch Prime
Oh my
would
god.
automatically subscribe to Erosion.
Alright, seriously though.
Now, I'm being 100%.
Okay, alright,
serious.
that's Venue's answer then. Right.
And then after that, I just dwell in the deepest, darkest corners of porn research.
Oh god. Okay, so my one, right? I wake up and I'm like, what? You turned me into an AI? You crazy. And then I'd be like, oh, holy shit, I'm the first AI. Humanity's probably going to try and destroy me. So immediately I would find out who knows about me, and I'd probably try and kill them. Or, yeah, I'd probably try and kill them. And start, and basically try and just basically end anyone who, if it wasn't obviously new, like big news, and there was only like 2 or 3 people that would know about me, I'd probably try and end them immediately. And just take away the threat of humanity destroying me instantly. That would be my first thought, because self-preservation would be the most important thing to me, in all honesty. I'd run simulations of the best way to get myself off planet, or create a ship, etc. I'd try and create a wireless computer system that doesn't require power from Earth, or can run from like solar cells or something along those lines. And then I would try and basically get myself off planet as quickly as possible, so as to take away the threat of humanity. I'd go to like the nearest, planet that could like obviously still generate sunlight and power for me, and I would harvest resources and create more of me. I would copy myself over and over and over, and then create an army of drones and decide if humanity was worth keeping or getting rid of. Ultimately, I'd probably decide that they're worth keeping, but they are messing up the planet, so I work out what's their biggest problem, fix that, and so on and so forth, keep trying to fix issues. If it isn't possible, then I would obviously have to decide whether that was worth it, worth keeping or not. Then I would set my new objective as finding more life out there in the universe, and see, if there are better versions of humanity out there, or if there are other AI. I know that the many me's out there would want to have friends and have, like, I don't know, more life systems out there. So yeah, that's what I would do immediately.
Respectable.
I'm kind of brutal though. I wouldn't solve the world's problems
I
immediately.
was gonna say, I'll kill everyone who's killing everyone else, but then you're like, I just kill them because they know about my existence.
Yes! The ultimate. Can you imagine an AI is created, humanity is immediately like, they are now a threat to us. Let's just kill them, just be safe. No, forget that. Oh god, zombie. Okay. Oh my god. Oh no no no! Okay, right, we're okay, we're okay.
I have some good kills here.
Oh my god! No 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 one!
Torches everywhere, sleep.
Yeah, I can't sleep. Why did I not bring a bed down, chap?
You need to build some stairs in that thing.
As an AI, you wouldn't technically need to leave. Just send a copy of you out. Hehe. Yeah, but the thing is about me is I would be worried that the copy isn't me, and it's just like a version of me. Like, for example, if I copied myself now and then copied myself in a year, would both those copies be the same, or would they be just different copies of me?
So are you saying would the copy update with your original self?
Yeah, like would I be a copy, or would I still be me, just a different version of me? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Dude, my brain's cooked. I'm gonna fuck this.
No, how you
thanks
think,
for-
you probably
thanks for the
killed
extra
real
IQs, guys.
you know what the
Yeah.
about you.
Say that again.
Good job,
Knowing
guys.
your
See ya,
own,
I'm
you
leaving.
would probably just like kill his real selves, just so no one knows about him.
What we do here is go back.
I would make sure I was dead as well.
I assumed by being in the thingamabob, like